Hey guys, Austin Lee. Today we're going to be talking about Google Business Profiles, also previously known as Google My Business. So this is the most important part of a local SEO campaign is really nailing your Google Business Profile and getting it set up correctly. This is what captures people before they even land on your website and make sure that you show up at the top of that map pack along with your excellent reviews. So filling this out is super important. I'm going to walk you through step by step in claiming your business listing if you haven't done that yet, and then we'll dive in to really figure out, going step by step, how you can set up your business profile to make your business look the best in your local market. So to start, I'm going to take you through the process of setting up and creating a Google Business Profile. If you've already claimed your Google Business Profile, you can skip this particular chapter and move on to the rest of the video. But to start, you click Manage Now here. You want to type in your business name. So today we're going to do Orb Test. You may find that your business actually already pops up on that list. If it doesn't, that's totally okay. So we'll hit Continue here. Most of the time for us contractors, we're going to be listed under service business, a business that makes visits to customers. If you have a showroom, you might want to list as a local store, but 99% of the time I recommend this service business category here. So go ahead and click that and hit next. Now you want to pick your primary business category. So what I recommend here is there are a couple different categories that generally fit contractors. If you're a general contractor, you could pick the general contractor category here, but primary category is super important in terms of search ranking factors. So what I recommend here is choosing the primary category for the business that you want to attract. So the kind of customer, if you are GC, but you want to get more customers as a window contractor, then I would list window installer or window install contractor. If your primary business split is 80-20, you do mostly roofing and 20% of other things, list yourself as a roofing contractor instead of a general contractor. This is going to give you the best possible odds of being found for that particular search term. So we're going to go with roofing contractor here today. Go ahead and hit next. So where do we serve our customers? Google, you can hit this allow and Google will get your location, but you're going to add service areas later in the next step. So just type the city where your office is located. For me, it's going to be Royal Oak, Michigan here. So I'll hit next. Next, you want to enter a valid phone number here. So I'll punch mine in. You need to ensure it's valid. Also ensure that you include your website here if you've set it up at this point in time. So your phone number here is going to be publicly listed on GMB. This is the number that is going to associate with your business listing. So ensure, if you're using a virtual number for your business, put that here. If you have a main office line, this is where it goes. A lot of times, since this is becoming publicly visible, people will actually be able to find this phone number and reach out to you via that number. So you might get some different sales solicitations and things, but you also want this to be a good number for prospects to reach you, because if they do look at your listing and call, the time to response is going to be really important. So I'll punch that phone number in here. I'll leave the website blank just for now. Moving on. So the next section here then is to put your business on the map. Get discovered by people in your area, respond to reviews for business. This is basically telling you what you can do with your Google business listing. So this isn't super important. You can either opt in to get alerts and tips about how to manage your online store with Google, and you want to check this to agree to the terms of service. I recommend checking this box. Google does change their products a lot and factors that rank in search. If they introduce new product features and things, you're going to want to be in the know. So go ahead and click that box and hit continue. So next, it's going to take you to a section to verify a mailing address. This is actually going to be the listed address of your business. It's super important because the proximity of your business to people who are searching for the kinds of service that you provide is going to play a huge factor in whether your business pops up or one of your competitors pops up first. The primary factors that cause map pack rankings are, review score, topical relevancy, and locational proximity. So where your office is actually located plays a huge part in whether or not people can find you in local search online. So make sure you have a great office location picked out. I know we cover that in our Ultimate Contractor guide, but go ahead and punch that office in here. If you have another office that you're doing business out of, or you're like working with somebody else who's renting office space to you, you can always append like a suite B or a suite A or a suite 100. Just know that this is the same address that you're going to use across the board for all of your name, address, and phone listings and directories later on. So go ahead and punch in your address here, and then go ahead and click the next button here. For now, we're going to verify later. Now, these final sections, I'm going to kind of skip through here. You can either follow the wizard in the prompt to set up your services and set up your business hours and kind of get that done here, or you'll have the opportunity to edit it later in the next step. I recommend turning on messaging. I recommend enabling all features for your Google business profile. If Google happens to change something later on, those may or may not become ranking factors. Definitely recommend turning on quote requests here as well. This section you can type and add a business description. We'll also show you later on how to do this and optimize this section for conversions. So we'll skip that for now. You can add photos of your work now or later. I recommend doing it later on. The interface becomes a little bit more detailed. So we'll skip this for now. And then this last section talks about, claiming a free $500 advertising credit. If you want to learn more about Google Paid Ads, there's a link to book a consultation in this video description. We're happy to talk to you about it, answer any questions that you might have. But Google does give each new business entity a $500 free advertising credit as kind of an incentive to hook you on their other products. So we'll skip that for now. If you don't have a domain name, you can also buy it through Google. We'll skip for now. These are mostly just upsells. And then finally, you'll get to this page that says your edits will be visible once you're verified. This is where you want to be, because Google's going to send you, after you fill out your mailing address, a postcard with a 5-digit code. You're going to have to come back in once you receive that postcard in the mail, type in that 5-digit code, and then that will actually cause your Google business listing to become live. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to hit me up in the comments or reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help any of you get your business listing claimed and set up. Okay, guys. So after your business is claimed, you receive the postcard, you punched in your code. We're going to have the opportunity to get to the meat and potatoes, which is actually setting up your knowledge card. So I wanted to show you, this is the Orb Solutions knowledge card that you see when you search. If you search by our name, or you just search marketing services Royal Oak, and we popped up in the map pack and you clicked on us, this is the kind of information you would see about our business. So we're going to be setting this up. So you can see there's a cover photo here. There's kind of sections for photos. You have the ability to enable online appointment links. There's links to your websites, calling the number directly. Your Google reviews are here. We'll show you how to add these product card photos here in a second, and then designate them into categories. You have the ability to do Q&A, and then we'll also talk a little bit about Google posting. But I just want to give you guys a high-level overview of what your profile will look like after we're finished building it out. Okay, so then when you land on your business page, once you're verified, you should start at the Home tab here, and you'll see all of this information about kind of your performance, your ability to kind of click and view your business in search, view your business in maps. You can share your review form. And for freshly set up profiles, you might be at only like 20 or 40%, depending on how much you did when you were claiming your postcard. And there'll be more buttons and things here to kind of guide you through the process. Google's typically good with tools. But for now, we're going to guide you tab by tab. So we're going to start here with posts. This one's at the top. So posts is cool because it gives you the opportunity to publish photos and descriptions here. You can create offers and cool calls to action where you can get people to click through on your site or tell them what's going on with your business. Maybe share photos of ongoing jobs or like a customer review, a picture with you with a happy customer. Like the opportunities are limitless here. You can use this section the same as you would use like a Facebook or an Instagram or any other social media. But the cool part is that this will actually pop up here in your Google Knowledge Card stream where people are actually searching or finding or trying to find you. So you'll have the ability to post for an audience that isn't necessarily like the people who are just following Facebook or Instagram. You can create a post for anybody who's browsing Google for your particular kind of service. And if they click into your knowledge card, they'll be able to see the kinds of things that you're posting, the work that you're doing, if you use this section consistently. So that's just kind of a brief description of posts. You don't necessarily have to use posts, but this is one of the ongoing things that you're going to want to do for your Google business profile, maybe once every few weeks or once a month minimum. The meat and potatoes section is when you come into info here. So you can see, we'll start with service areas. So being found from a local search perspective is contingent on making sure that you list your business as doing business in that area. So you want to pick all of the main areas, service areas that you do business in. So obviously pick the city that's on top of where your office is located, but then add like the local counties, the local cities, like anything that you think somebody near you would type into the search. So for me, I'm based in Royal Oak, but Clawson is maybe a mile or two away from me. Oak Park is 3 or 4 miles away from me. And then since we do service like statewide, I kind of list other major cities and municipalities that we do work within. So mine are a little bit more scattered across the state. For yours, you want to pick the biggest cities that are closest to your local office location, and you want to add all of them here, not just a couple. I believe that you can have up to 20 of these. So you want to maximize this space and put as many as you can in this service area setting. This is super important. The next thing is actually filling out your business hours. Make sure you utilize this section. If your hours, make sure you actually reflect the accurate hours here, because people are going to call you. They want to know when you're open. They might stop by your office. So fill that section out. It's important. You also want to make sure that when you fill out your hours here, they match any other hours you might have listed on the internet. So if you put your hours on your website or your hours are posted on Facebook, just go give that a check and ensure that those are consistent across the board. You can add more hours here for accessing special things. Typically for contractors, I don't see this as used very much. If you do some sort of pickup or something from your showroom, you can add that here. And then adding special hours, like if you have an upcoming holiday, typically Google has like an auto-populated section here. You can see the next major holiday upcoming here in the US is Labor Day. So that one's listed, and I can enter special hours here. But you might have, maybe you're taking a sabbatical from your business, you're going on a brief vacation. Make sure that you add those in here so people who are searching for you and Google know that you'll actually, you won't be in the office and you won't be able to respond. Because Google does actually track responses. So if people call you through that button and you don't answer, or people use like your appointment reach out or the online booking and you don't respond very quickly, or you never respond to your reviews, all of those things can punish you from a search perspective. So if you're not open and you're not able to respond, make sure that you come here and tell Google that, hey, I'm not going to be available at these times. Next is your phone number. You probably filled this out already. Ensure that this area is set up and correct for the number that you want people to actually call. Adding your website should possibly be here already, depending on if you input it in the optional field during the setup. If you haven't, just go ahead and add it here. Appointments link, you're going to want to utilize this. So if you have like a contact us page on your website, or better yet, you actually have a calendar booking section like we do on the Orb website, you'll want to add that here. We have all of our clients utilize this, where it kind of points to their outreach page, maybe with a simple contact form or an appointment scheduler. Put that link in here because sometimes people are going to click through this and it skips all the steps in landing on your website homepage and then getting to your contact us page. If they want to get in touch with you, just drop that link here. Next is adding or editing products. So this actually takes us down to the product tab when we click on it. But here you can add a product, so you can drag a photo in here and list it. You see we made all these custom images and graphics for our products, so it looks really nice in search. You can add the product name. You can create your own categories or select from an existing category they've added. This helps you kind of sort all of those products into these categories on the search tab. This is cool because you can add buttons to the bottom where you can be like learn more or get the offer. And so you can directly send them to a specific page on your website instead of a home page. If they're browsing through this section on your knowledge card and they know that they're looking for roofing, then you can send them to your roofing page or your roofing landing page instead of just directly to your website. I think that this looks incredibly professional when I see that contractors or local businesses have taken the time to fill out this products section. So make sure that you do that. We find that contractors that utilize this and fill it out ultimately, diversify themselves from their competitors in their market and end up converting a lot more traffic from their Google business page. Going back to info though, so that covers products, appointment link. Then the next essential thing is to really spend some time digging into this services section. So this you'll see services that are primarily listed under your primary category. You have the ability to add additional secondary categories for your business. Spend a lot of time going through all the services that Google has pre-filled in here and ensure that you add any services that are relevant to the offers that you have. This is going to help you show up more for the services if they use long tail keywords or pin in specific searches. So like if they're searching roofer near me, then you'll probably pop up right away. But if they were to use a more explicit keyword, say asphalt shingles, and you don't have asphalt shingles listed as one of your services or asphalt shingle installer, then the chances of you popping up are going to be much lower. So make sure you spend the time to actually fill out this services section for all of the services that you offer. This is important for search rankings that you actually fill these out because you want to be found for all of these long tail keywords and search results in the map pack. So add all the ones that are relevant to your business. So then going back to info, that moves us past services. If you continue to scroll down to the bottom, you can add attributes. So if you're Black owned business, LGBTQ, Latino, veteran owned, women owned business, add these sections here. Google likes to see that in here, and they'll give you kind of reward that by creating a badge on your knowledge card. For health and safety, Google added these sections during the pandemic. If you have safety checks, you do temperature checks, you require a mask for customers to enter your showroom, you can designate that here. So make sure to just kind of go through these categories and attributes quickly and add the ones that are relevant to your business. For service options, you also want to make sure that you enable like kind of online appointments down here. You can do virtual calls or over the phone to do consultations for clients. Then you'll want to add like the date that your business opened. You can go ahead and punch it in here. And that about covers it for the info tab section. Some more advanced information down here. You can enter a store code or labels. Once you start to have multiple locations, if the name is identical, they become hard to identify. You can give identifiers here so that you can sort your businesses in your GMB managed section. But we won't cover that today in this video. Then if you ever need to close your business for any reason, you can do it here. You can temporarily close it if you're taking like a longer vacation. You can mark as permanently closed if you're shutting down. And you can also remove your listing entirely through this section here. Then clicking through this insights section, this actually gives you information about how often you are showing up in search to potential customers in your area, how often your knowledge card's been shown, how often people take action based on that. So this is kind of a cool, easy analytics section for you to understand what kind of traction you're getting in your local search. Reviews section, this is where you can go through and see all the reviews that people have left for your business. You can reply to them here. You can sort by ones that have been replied to or haven't replied to. We highly advise that you reply to every single Google review, good or bad, that you get on GMB, because if you imagine that you are a prospect and you juxtapose yourself in their shoes, you're going to go through and read these reviews and see if it's a bad review, how the owner replied to it and handled the situation. You're going to want to see that the owner is active and thanking their customers for the reviews. That creates like positive character and charisma. And Google also rewards you in the search rankings for being active in this reviews section and replying to each and every one. Call section, you can turn on a call history to show customers who call you through Google search or maps, and they can be connected through a forwarding number. So Google will list a secondary number. That number will forward into your primary number that you list. And then Google can show you analytics on the people who have called, how many calls have been missed, how many you answer. So I'd recommend enabling this call history section as well. Messages, when people message you through your GMB profile, they'll show up here. And then getting to the next section that we really want to fill out, the photo section. So you have the ability, the place to start is this identity. Make sure that you upload kind of a square logo, a high-res version of it, but you also have the opportunity to designate a cover photo. This is important because it's one of the first things that people see when they click on your knowledge card. It will actually pop up here. So take the time to create or select a really professional cover photo, whether you edit it and add kind of your logo as a watermark on top of it or not. Pick something that accurately represents your business and make sure that you kind of come off as very professional here. Team sections, you can add photos of your team or your business if you do safety training or you have a photo of everyone out on the job. Do that. Add that here. Photos of you at work. Just as a word to the wise, make sure that you're following proper safety precautions when you're actually posting photos of your team on Google. Otherwise, we'd never take any sort of safety shortcuts. I'm sure that you guys understand that you don't want to have anything online that might compromise what any of your safety standards. So you can add videos here as well, and then overview, just general photos. If you have jobs that you've done locally, just upload them. You can upload them right from your phone, but you can also download them to your desktop and upload them here just by clicking this button right up in the folder. You can select the photos and videos from your computer that you want to upload and add to the section. I recommend periodically coming back every 2 to 3 months and at the most and adding additional photos here to this section to ensure that people see that you're active, you're updating photos. These are big conversion factors for customers when they're trying to weed one contractor out from another. If you have a fully filled out knowledge card and you actively post and you actively add photos and your competitors don't, and you have a high review score, who do you think the prospect is going to give first dibs out? They're probably going to call you first. So ensure that you utilize this photo section to show really professional shots of the work that you've done and performed. Next, we kind of covered products already, but you can also access this tab through here, and then you can click this button on the top to view your products on Google. The services section we already touched on as well. Then you have your website section. If you don't have a professional website that's been built out for you, first, contact us below, schedule an appointment. We love to talk to you. But otherwise, you can build a free one-page website through Google here and attach it to your GMB listing. Typically, you're not able to get all of the SEO, and this isn't super customizable. It's pretty rigid. But you can see that it builds a site based on your GMB information, and you can kind of have your posts and updates display here. You have some of your testimonials and reviews that'll populate here. Your business description populates, and then your photos as well. So, in wake of having this or not having a website at all, I would definitely recommend coming to this section and setting up your website. It only takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes to get something that looks pretty decent and put it up here. User section, you can actually add additional users or managers of your business here so that they can come in and help you edit things. And then the last thing I want to come back and talk about is like when you go to info here, you have the ability to fill out this up to 750 character description here. This is the section that shows right here from Orb Solutions. Utilize as much of this space as you can. You can space things out and create an effect of multiple lines. You could write it out in a word processor and then copy it into here to get the spacing and the format that you like, because sometimes this box and editor is a little constrained. I would recommend doing that, either typing it in Microsoft Word or typing it in an email and copying it into here. But try to use this section to tell people what sets you apart from your competitors, where you do business, how long you've been in business, anything that really screams why I should work with you than anybody else, use this whole business about us section, because people will read this. It does catch their attention, and it's one of the only highly customizable areas of your knowledge card where you can actually tell people what you do. So yeah, going back to that, ensure that you take some time and be thoughtful about it. Describe what you do as a business here. Use kind of the key terms like roofing, siding, windows. You can include those here. And yeah, just utilize all of the space that you can here, and make it seem really professional and to the point about what's in it for them. That about covers it for setting up your GMB profile. If you still have questions, feel free to hit us up in the comments below. We're also happy if you want to book an appointment or reach out anytime. You need some free advice, or you'd like to talk to us, you're having trouble setting this up. We're always happy to help. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you in the next video.